Detective Chief Superintendent Charisse Pond, Ops Commander, State Crime Command. Okay, thanks. Over the past 2 weeks, we have seen recent incidents of targeted violence between members of outlaw motorcycle gangs. These gangs, by their very nature, are closed and use violence as a tool to affect certain outcomes in their criminal networks. The violence we have seen over the past few weeks has been specifically targeted at other members of criminal gangs. What is important is that the Queensland Police Service is continuing to target these individuals and gangs to prevent, disrupt, and where there is sufficient evidence, place these members before the courts. We are not seeing these groups converge in public. The community rightly have an expectation that they can go about their daily lives safely and securely. All members of the service are clearly committed to this outcome. We are committed and we are here for the long haul. The Queensland Police will continue to use all our resources and specialist areas to stop this crime. Our capacity to bring offenders to justice has been shown by further arrests as recent as yesterday. We will continue to use proactive strategies to prevent events occurring, and where crimes are committed, we will use all our resources to find those responsible. I'm happy to take your questions.
You were arrested, I hope I'm pronouncing his name, to QLD, his brother, yesterday. Have there been any further developments between the events of that shooting from Tuesday, his arrest, and the firebombing?
I hope you can actually appreciate that these matters are ongoing investigations. I'm not going to comment on our specific strategies or operations or methods that we use to investigate these matters. What I can tell you is that State Crime Command is working in partnership with Brisbane Region and South East Region to identify all of those people involved in these acts of violence and to bring them to the courts.
You say these people use these methods to reach certain outcomes. What are those outcomes and what are the outcomes that they're trying to reach from this recent string of increased violence?
So there are many outcomes involved in criminal gangs and these networks and the violence that they use. It may be in relation to commodity, it may be in relation to finances, and we've also seen it in relation to personal conflict between members.
When you say commodity, are you talking about a drug war flaring up of some sort?
I'm talking about criminal networks that we know are involved in drugs, in money laundering, in financing criminal matters, yes.
You're speaking generally there, but in specifically looking at these cases in recent weeks, we've got 2 clubs that are continue to come up. Is it a turf war between these clubs? Is that the outcome they're trying to achieve, to win ground?
So we are seeing an absolute escalation in violence in relation to organised criminal gangs. I'm not surprised by this violence. We have seen it before, and we will continue to work to target those involved, to identify those involved, and to bring them to justice.
Are the state's OMCG laws tough enough? Are they still providing you with the tools you need to crack down on these guys? Because they're obviously still out there, still conducting their crimes on a daily basis.
So we have proven that the laws are working. We are arresting people constantly. As late as yesterday, we were arresting people. We have issued over 1,000 consorting laws, and we are working with our partner agencies and the broad spectrum of tools and legislation that we have to bring these offenders to justice.
You mentioned earlier that we haven't seen this in public, but one of these cases did happen at the Logan Hyperdome, a large brawl between a fair few members of motorcycle gangs. You say we're seeing escalation, we've seen it in the past, we have seen it in the public, and in the past when that's happened in public, there's been a lot of confronting violence. You don't have to look back to the ballroom blitz and to the bikie brawl in Broadbeach. Are you concerned that we're going to see another one of these if it continues?
The decisions made by criminals I cannot comment on. What I can tell you is that we will continue to investigate to prevent and disrupt these types of incidents and the targeted violence that is occurring between these groups.
Are there laws that you wish were stronger so you could do more? I mean, obviously they're not completely effective, otherwise this violence wouldn't be occurring.
So we have a full suite of laws and strategies open to us, and I think that we have shown that they are working by the way that we are continually arresting and preventing these types of incidents.
Why have police up until now been downplaying the fact that there's been an escalation in violence, and why are police only speaking now?
Well, what I can tell you is that these incidents have escalated over the past several weeks. If I look at the Logan incident, what I can tell you is that within 4 days, police had located and arrested multiple offenders. Significant arrests had been made, and 9 of those offenders are remanded in custody.
But it's not stopping the violence. What do you need to actually stop it altogether? Because they're clearly still outlaw motorcycle gangs doing the wrong things. They're not these, soft bikies, old blokes on bikes with, just getting together and appreciating each other's motorcycle. They're clearly, as you say, dealing in hard drugs, committing violence. Should the public be concerned?
Well, what I can tell you is that violence, targeted violence between these gang members is part of their culture. That is how they do business.
And so in this case, what business is it that they're fighting over then? What's caused the escalation in their violence?
Again, that's part of our ongoing investigation. I'm not prepared to discuss our strategies or our tactics at the moment, but in past investigations we have seen this is over commodities, over property, over personal relationship issues. It is a way that they do business.
The fact that it's now from Logan all the way to Brendale, supposedly, that's quite widespread across the southeast. It would suggest that it's not a single incident between, as you say, individuals or over a certain commodity in one place. It clearly does look like it's a turf war.
So what I need to reinforce is that this is specific violence that we are taking very seriously, but it remains contained to a very specific group of people.
How many people have been arrested over the past couple of weeks?
So there were 9 people arrested in relation, there are 9 people remanded in custody in relation to the Logan incident. There was a gentleman arrested yesterday, and our investigation is ongoing, and we will continue to identify and investigate any people who have been identified as being involved in any of these violent incidents.
Just specific routes that you're talking about, what's the estimation of numbers that are involved in this specific route currently shooting?
That's part of our ongoing investigation, so I won't be sharing. I hope you can appreciate that I won't be discussing the specifics of those people involved, those people who are suspects and victims.
Do you have any more details on the fire, how it started, that sort of thing?
I hope you can appreciate that this occurred late last night. Our police are still on the scene. They are investigating, they are taking statements from witnesses, we're reviewing CCTV, and obviously asking the public that if they had seen or heard anything in the vicinity of where this offence occurred last night, that they would contact us on Crime Stoppers.
You've obviously called this press conference yourself. Are you inferring that the public is concerned about this escalation in violence? Why call a press conference otherwise?
So my messaging to the public is that the community is safe. This is targeted violence between criminal networks, between criminal motorcycle gangs. And I want to reassure the public that the police are working with our partners to ensure their safety.
We've seen the public unfortunately get caught up in this before. Do you fear that can happen again?
Again, I cannot, in the mind of a criminal, I don't know when and where acts will take place. What I can tell you is that we are working really hard with our partners to deter, prevent, disrupt and solve these serious and targeted acts of violence.
Are you expecting further attacks?
Again, I can't anticipate the mind and actions of criminals.
But what does your intelligence suggest?
Our intelligence suggests that we need to continue working in this space, to continue working with the public and continue working with the criminal gangs and engaging with them to deter, disrupt and solve this crime.
You want to reassure the public, doesn't the public have a right to know what is this turf war over?
I am here to reassure the public that we have all our resources allocated to investigating these matters. What is really important is that if members of the public have any information in relation to any of these matters, that they are confident to call Crime Stoppers, to contact police and provide any piece of information that may assist us in our investigation.
Do you expect to make further arrests over the shooting or firebombing from earlier this week?
We will continue to investigate all the matters that are presently before us.
So you do expect to make further arrests?
Well,
potentially?
if there is enough evidence, we will absolutely be making further arrests. Criminal gangs, by their very nature, are closed, and you can appreciate that where violence is involved, it's important that they have the confidence and the trust of the police that we are going to investigate these fully, and we will continue to investigate these till all the people that are involved are prosecuted.
Just finally then, you've got these tough anti-gang laws, they're all about non-association. How do these bikie gangs continue to associate and do business when these laws that have been in place for a few years now are all designed to stop that?
So we use the full suite of laws. We use consorting, we use arrest, we use tools including disruption and prevention to target criminal gangs. We will continue to investigate offences that occur, and we'll continue to ask for the public support if these offences occur.
Sorry, I guess what I was getting at is, are they meeting in secret then, behind closed doors, in places that aren't designated banditos clubs or etc.?
So I'm not going to, I can't, that's part of our ongoing operational investigation, and I won't be commenting on that at this stage.
No doubt that specific group responsible for most of this will be watching the news tonight, reading the paper. What would your message be to that specific group about what's unfolding right now?
So my messaging is that the Queensland Police Service, that detectives from State Crime Command, Brisbane Region, South Eastern Region, and all our resources are committed to stopping this targeted violence.
Do you have extra detectives or police out as a result of this escalation in violence? Have you got more crews on patrol or sitting out in front of whoever's house or etc.? Any of that sort of detail that you can tell us?
I'm sorry, I can't that's an operational matter at the moment. What I can tell you is that we have sufficient detectives and specialists and partner agencies who are committed to solving these crimes, working together.
Generally, have you boosted police numbers to deal with this threat?
We are working in partnership together. Any more questions? Okay. Thank you.